Hi guys, it's Chris here from Drubbit. Welcome back to another episode of Leeds Talk. If you don't know who I am, I'm just some guy that supports Leeds United and makes some videos about football every now and again. So we just had a pre-season friendly against Harrogate Town. We beat them 4-2. Well done. I don't think we would have expected any other result, to be honest. I've got to admit, when I looked at the first half lineup, it looked like the exact same players that we were using last season, apart from Gomez, who was the new addition to the squad. So I think he was just testing out the squad, seeing who he liked, and obviously we ended up winning the game. I think we was really in control of the game in the first half, and I think second half they started to come back when they scored a couple of goals. Probably because the team was a bit unbalanced, and that's the whole point of these pre-season friendlies, right? One good thing about that obviously was Gomez scored, Maga Gomez, he just signed from Liverpool. He's a bit of a young player, but it was good that he scored in that game. It puts a stamp on the reason why Leeds were interested in him in the first place. And obviously one of the things that a lot of fans are interested in at the moment is the new signings, who's going to come into the club, and obviously who's been leaving as well. So Charlie Taylor, he just signed for Burnley, we just found out. Snake. Really, I mean, we brought him up, we obviously taught him everything he knows, and why he wouldn't stay with us and go to... But look, the way I look at it is, when Leeds get promoted, he's in a smaller club now. He should have just stayed with Leeds, I mean... But then again, I mean, he's been with Leeds for so long, maybe he just feels that it's time for a new adventure. Only thing I can say for him is a bit of an ungrateful git. No, but best of luck to him. I don't know how everyone else feels about him leaving. There's been lots of crazy names that's been thrown around. Let's just focus on who's coming in. So we had today someone signed Vurnon Anita. Comes from Newcastle. He's been playing there for 5 years. He's a Dutch guy. And he was primarily playing for them at right back last season. Obviously, he got promoted with them and won the championship with them. So that's someone that's got a lot of pedigree and has actually succeeded in the championship, so I think that's a really positive signing. He might have not been the best right back in the league last season, but he did play for the champions, so there you go. There's someone that we can definitely use, and he has that experience of winning in the championship, and that's someone that I think that can definitely help the other players and all the younger players in our squad, because most of the players in our squad haven't achieved that yet, so that's someone that can definitely pass his experience on down. It does say on WhoScored.com that one of his weaknesses is aerial duels. So that's maybe something that the other guys can help him with. I know Pontus Jansson's very good at that, so maybe they can work together that on training to sort of improve that part of his game. And obviously we got the guy that recently signed, Matthews Klitsch. He's someone that's a very strong passer. Look at his statistics last season. He made 62 passes a game, and that was 82.3% success rate. Like, that's pretty good. He's a very strong passer. That's one of his attributes. I think that's one of the things that Leeds have really been lacking in recent years, is someone that can really dominate in that midfield and pass the ball. But if you look closer into statistics, per game he's averaging about 0.9 or nearly 1 crosses a game, only 0.2 through balls, and 3.5 long balls per game. That sort of indicates to me that he can control the midfield, he can pass to his teammates, yet he's not so good maybe getting that killer pass through the middle to set the goal up. I mean, he had 4 assists over the whole of last season, which is all right. I mean, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's amazing, especially for someone that's going to dominate the midfield, but he's obviously got a lot of room to improve. He's young, so there's no reason to think that, you know, he's not coming into it to improve. And that's the whole reason why, you know, Thomas Christensen, I think, is signing players that he can improve, that he can coach. So he's obviously got a lot of really good statistics, Matthews Klitsch, but he can improve in certain areas. So that's pretty interesting, and also he does like to take shots as well. I don't think it's as many as, say, Pablo Hernandez would take, but he's averaging about 1.2 shots a game. I mean, it's not amazing. He's not attacking midfielder, don't forget, he's just a central midfielder. If you can see here, closer into the stats, 0.8 of those per game of those shots are outside of the box. So he does like to have a shot every now and again. It is clear, and he did score a few goals. I think it was 6 goals over the last season, so that does show that he does actually have a bit of an accurate shot, which is obviously something we can always build on. His tackles, he's obviously a very strong tackler as well. He's averaging like 2.4 tackles per game, with 2.3 interceptions per game, with almost 1 clearance every single game, and 0.4 blocks, and also he likes to dribble as well. So that just shows that he's an all-round player. He's certainly very strong, and he likes to get stuck in, which is pretty much the attributes of what a Leeds player should be. I'm sure you would agree with that. I mean, we're all very excited. I've been seeing in the Leeds group that Everyone's very excited about him, and I think he'll slot into the team very nicely. I think he'll probably be starting the game. He needs to get used to the Championship though, because I think the Championship is a strong league. It's obviously very physical. You know, he's a Polish player. I think he is a bit of a physical guy. I'm pretty sure he will be very good for us over the coming season. And we've got Felix. He's Felix Wildwald from Germany, Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen, something like that.
Werder Bremen. God, my German is awful. But I would say with him, he seems to be pretty good. I wouldn't say he's as good as Rob Green, but then again, Green is a bit old now, so there's a good chance that Felix will perform better. It will be really telling actually this season who's going to be the #1 goalkeeper. I mean, if you look at Felix's stats on WhoScored.com, it does say that he's sort of good with long passes. He can pass up to accurate areas upfield. He's really good in one-on-one positions, but not so good from close-range shots. So if you can imagine now in the Championship how many goals are coming in from when the ball's just coming in from everywhere, and these sort of spraying, and people are spraying shots from the inside the box, and there's everyone sort of bunched in, he might struggle in those situations. He does have good attributes, and he does look like a very good goalkeeper, and he's very tall. He's 6'3", which is a good attribute, of course, but I don't think his stats are very good for short range. But it's something to be improved upon, and he will need to improve upon it if he's going to thrive in the Championship. Another guy that's been on the radar recently is Samu Says. I'm sure you've heard all about him as a Spanish guy. He's had a bit of a journeyman career actually. He's been playing at about 7 clubs, but he's an attacking midfielder. He does look pretty good. He does look like he's got a lot of skills that he can, and attributes he can bring to the squad. And it's probably sort of a replacement for Hernandez looking into the long term, because Hernandez is obviously a little bit older now. He's still very, very good, but how many years does he have left? Samu Says is probably someone that they're going to nurture to potentially become a Hernandez replacement. Or I think it'd be interesting to see actually who will start out of them two. I know sort of Hernandez maybe has a slightly different role, but they both have that attacking mindset. So it'd be interesting to see if they both play together, or one of them will sit on the bench or something. It'd be interesting to see how Thomas fits them two together. And obviously another amazing bit of news that came out last week is that we repurchased Ellen Road. I'm really, really happy about that. I'm sure everyone is actually. We've been waiting for a long, long time, over a decade, for this news. I gotta admit, it just shows really that Andrea Radrizzani is really doing good things for us. Like, he's only really been, you think, I mean, he had the club obviously for the last year, he had 50% of it, but he didn't really have the power to do these sort of big decisions at that time. As soon as he took over 100%, 1 month later, he's got the ground back, and I think that's amazing. Anyone that could ever doubt him, obviously that's just silenced them, I'm sure. And I think under him we're going to really achieve some big things, and obviously the first things is getting promotion back to the Premier League. And judging by some of the players that have been linked and looking at their statistics, and you know, the fact that we kept hold of some of our bigger players and everything, I think there's a really positive signs coming here. We can only go up from here. I don't think we can ever go back. We're never going to go back to the negative things that we've experienced in the past sort of decade. We're definitely on the way up. Obviously, one thing that was a little bit disappointing was that Pep Clotet left, and he's gone over to Oxford. He's got a managerial position there, so really good luck to him. Was a bit disappointing that he's left, but can you blame him? Obviously, he's got the #1 position in another club, and obviously that's going to just improve his career. So hopefully we can play them at some point in the season in one of the cups or something. And today we had the big kit launch event. Look, a really big event. There was a lot of people there. There was smoke. There was a stage. They looked like models up on there, and there was like fireworks or bangs that went off when they were revealed. Looks a pretty interesting kit. Looks quite plain. Looks a bit gold, and all the Kappa signs down here. Looks a bit retro actually. It's got a bit of a retro feel to it. I'm not sure if I'm in love with it, but I do think it looks quite nice. It's definitely better than the previous years, I'd say. Quite gold, very gold looking. It's definitely better than Macron. Okay, last decade or so, I've not been a big fan of the kits. Obviously, I'll get them, I'll probably wear them and stuff, but I'm just not really a big fan of the design. I'm sure everyone feels the same, like that Macron, and I think Kappa have been obviously a lot better. I definitely think that there will be a very iconic kit if we end up getting promoted in it. I'm sure it will be one that we can frame up on the wall once we get promoted this year. And that's it for today. I'd just like to say I'm sorry for not having done any videos in the last couple of weeks. I've actually been travelling over in Japan, and it's been almost, the connection, internet's just been non-existent, and I didn't have my camera with me, so it's pretty much no videos were getting made. That I didn't try making one in the airport, and I just hadn't slept for about 40 hours at this point, and I just looked like an absolute gremlin, to be honest. And I think everyone around me was just thinking, what is this guy doing? And I did try to upload it actually, but the internet just wasn't having any of it. So, and when I came back, I was just like, well, jet lagged. So I've just got back literally to start doing this. So yeah, I'll be definitely doing this more often. I'll be doing it probably, I'm going to release a proper schedule now. I'm just thinking about the best days to be releasing it. I don't want to like bore anyone by doing it every single day, but of course it'd be nice to do it a couple of times, 3 times a week, and to see how it goes from there. So actually, the last video I made, there was this guy that completely slated it. He said that, you know, like, you're just doing news that we all know about. Actually, I'm not doing news, I'm just doing opinions and just discussing stuff to do with the club I support. So this is just fans' reactions, just talking to you guys and getting some reactions from you and having a discussion, that's it. And he did say actually that I shouldn't be using the marching on together on the background music. So it'd be interesting, what do you guys think? Should I use the MOT music, or should I use any other types of music? Is it a bit cheesy with the MOT music? I mean, I've got to admit, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe you can let me know, what do you think should be a good background music for the videos of this channel? Should I use the MOT tune, or should I use some other types of music? Why don't you let me know on the polls here and in the comments below, and then maybe I can make it a little bit better and a little bit less cheesy. Maybe that guy will actually end up liking it. Probably not, doubt it really, but we'll see. If you do like these videos and you want me to keep doing more, then please subscribe, it does mean a lot. Comment and leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.